friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm starting another reading vlog and I'm going to be reading some of Christina Lauren's backlist book titles. So the three books that I'm going to be reading in this vlog is going to be Dating You, Hating You by Christina Lauren, Roomies by Christina Lauren, and my favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren. So these are the three backlist titles that I want to read in today's vlog. So I hope you're excited. Christina Lauren is definitely one of my favorite authors. Not my all-time favorite because I've definitely had some books that I just like haven't liked by them. But these are like their oldest standalones. Not too much into the series at this moment, but for standalones, these are like, I think they're some of the oldest ones. Like I think this is their oldest standalone. But anyway, I am currently reading Roomies and I have already read a large chunk because I started it last night, and then I did read a little bit this morning before my chiropractor appointment, but now I'm home from that and I want to finish this book today. I'm not gonna like pressure myself to, but I really don't have anything else going on and it is going fairly quickly. I'm just in a romance mood, so I figured why not knock these off of my list, and then at the end of this video I will let you know, you will know all of my thoughts about these three books. I thought I would go ahead and tell you what Roomies is about before I sit here and react to it. So this one is From the Subway to Broadway to Happily Ever After. So this follows our main character Holland, who is living with her two gay uncles in New York City, and they work on this Broadway show that's really popular, and I guess like the musician and the lead actor are both leaving, and they're trying to bring in, they have already brought in a new actor, but they're trying to bring in another musician possibly as well. And Holland kind of has this crush on this busker of like the subway system, and she thinks that he's really good and he could be like the fit. Well, the problem is that he's in the country illegally, and she convinces, before she even knows that, like she convinces her uncle to give him a try. He tries out and they all love him. They think he is perfect for the role of like lead musician. He's like a guitarist or whatever. But then he informs them like, thank you so much for the opportunity, but I'm in the country illegally. And at first they're like, oh, no problem. We have people that we help all the time. Like, how long have you been here? And he's like, 4 years. And they're like, don't think we're gonna be able to help you out there. But Holland really wants to give this guy an opportunity. She's kind of always had a crush on him, and she just also thinks that he's really good, and she thinks that this could really help her uncles out. So she takes it upon herself to marry this man for the paperwork so he can do this job. It is 5:37 and I just finished reading my first book, Roomies by Christina Lauren, and I'm gonna rate the story 3 out of 5 stars. I'm gonna sit down and do a short Goodreads review. I am horrible at keeping up with Goodreads reviews, but I feel like I do a good job at the beginning of the year, and I have written a review of every book I have read so far this year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with it, to be completely honest, but while I'm in the mood to write a review, I might as well go ahead and do it. I am back, and I have decided to lower my rating of Roomies by Christina Lauren from 3 stars to 2 stars because I thought it was just okay. As I was writing my Goodreads review, I also do my review over on the Story Graph. So if you want to follow me on Story Graph, it's Gwendolyn __ Kensinger, and I had one last year, but I never kept up with it, and I wanted to start again, so I just deleted everything and started fresh in 2021 with it. I don't know if I'm going to keep up with my reviews or not on there, but I'm on Goodreads, I'm on Storygraph, and again, you can find me there at Gwendolyn _Kensinger. Anyway, I decided to lower it to 2 stars because when I was writing my review, I couldn't really remember too much that I actually enjoyed about the story. First, I'm gonna say 50 to 60, 75 pages were quite slow, and it was just build up about the main character having a crush on this street musician, and she ended up like getting in this accident, and he had called the paramedics, I guess, but he couldn't like stick around and say that he was the one that like turned him in. And that did come into play like later on, not how I really thought it was going to, but the whole thing about this book is that I'm reading it for the romance, and the romance wasn't that swoony at all. Like, she's had a crush on this guy forever, and you never get a sense that like, or you never feel like he likes her too. Like, obviously they confess their feelings for one another, but it just doesn't feel like it, you know what I'm saying? And it is a fake dating, fake marriage situation, which usually I adore those, but with the slow beginning and just like the heavy focus on the theater aspect and like his music and stuff like that, I just didn't connect to it. I love theater. I'm a theater geek. My husband went to school for acting. He plays guitar. So like, there was just something off that I wasn't really, I mean, I guess I just went into this for the romance, and that was what I was expecting, and it felt more contemporary than it did really a romance story. Also, Holland's friend in here, Lulu, is like a total bitch to her the entire time, and I never felt like that was fully fleshed out why, or there was never like a resolution to that. And then there's some stuff that happens at the end. I feel like it was just kind of like incomplete. Next up, I'm gonna read My Favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren, and I'm a little nervous about this because I've heard that it's a little bit of catfishing going on in this one, where there's like some professors. So there's like one woman and like several guys, and they're all like professors and they're all friends and stuff, but the one girl has had a crush on this guy forever, so she builds like a dating profile or something like that, and like catfishes this guy to be like not who she says she is or something. And I just here with a reading update. I started My Favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren last night, and I made it a couple chapters in before I just got really tired. I was really tired, and then I saw that Netflix, it's like a 40-minute documentary about the fastest cubers in the world, like, you know, the Rubik's Cube, and it's just 40 minutes, but it's so freaking wholesome. I just couldn't not watch it. So I watched that, and then I went to bed, read a couple chapters, and now here we are. It's Friday, and I'm gonna try to finish this today. I am on page, let me see, page 47. So I did make some progress, and I don't have too much going on today. We do have the dog groomer coming to the house. It's like one of those, you know, vans that pull up to your property and groomer in their van. So it's not like we're going to be interacting with them very much other than to hand her off. So my husband's gonna handle that. I do have a couple of packages coming in today because I ordered some new puzzles and some bullet journaling stuff and some stuff like that. It's gonna be coming in over the next couple of weeks because I ordered it from like all different kind of places. All right, I don't know if I love this or hate this. All right, they just came to pick up Charlie, and I'm like, oh my God. So they're right outside with my husband and Charlie. And there's their little van that they take her in. Here she is, after her haircut. Charlie! You gonna sit? You gonna lay down?
You want a treat?
Here she is. You're all trimmed and all groomed. Get back to reading. Trying to finish this book today because I have this book, one more book, and then I can start on Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, which I'm really excited about because we're reading it for Talk Bookish to Me, and I'm so excited. I'm currently on page 208. It's okay. That's the thing. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's okay. I don't particularly like any of the characters, but I guess I'm semi excited to see where it goes. I don't know why Millie just didn't tell Reed. Like, I get why she made like the fake profile, but then like once she was matched with Reed, who is supposedly her best friend, she should have immediately said, oh, that was just me trying something different. Yeah, so I don't know. Full thoughts to come when I finish. I finished my favorite half night stand, and I'm kind of sad that the characters never said that that was their favorite half night stand. Disappointed. I'm also going to be rating this story 2 out of 5 stars, like I rated Roomies. So these are rom-coms, but I don't get much comedy out of them, and they're not very romantic. They're kind of like focusing on other things. There's more serious topics at work, especially in this one. But in this one girl and like several guys that are friends, they're all professors at this one university, and they're all like super smart, and they're just unlucky in love. They've dated people, they've had sex with people, but they haven't found the one yet. And Millie is really attracted to Reed, and Reed is really attracted to Millie, and they actually end up sleeping together. And then they're all just trying to find dates to this big event. So they want to have dates. They decide to set up dating profiles on like dating sites like Tinder, but they do this IRL, in real life dating site. They all make profiles. Millie helps them set up their profiles because they weren't very good at it, but then her profile kind of suffers. And they all kind of say like, you didn't really include anything good on there. So she makes this other profile where she posts a picture of her that looks, it's not like a head-on shot. It's kind of like an over-the-shoulder type picture where you can't like easily recognize her. And also she's just like so much more open on this profile. And her friend Reed is a 98% match with her. And she accepts, and she shoots him a message, and she's like sure that he's going to catch on literally right away that it's her, and he doesn't. And then so she does it again, and she's like, oh, this time for sure he's going to catch on. But over the course of the time, he's starting to develop feelings about her, and she obviously has feelings about him, but she continues stringing him along as this different person, kind of like catfishing. And yeah, I don't know, it's just really kind of sad in a way that I mean, I get how you can be like in your 30s before you like are in a place where you're looking for the one, or you haven't found the one yet. I think there's no right age to find love, but these characters just seemed really, really immature to me for as like smart as they were, and like having really good jobs and really good friends. They were just really, really immature. So the characters were immature. There wasn't really that much romance. Even like the sexy scenes were not that sexy. And it was just kind of, I don't know, it was just kind of dull. And you're just wondering like, when is she either going to confess to the fact that she's catfishing him, or is he going to catch on to the fact that he's catfishing her? Yeah, I don't know. It didn't pack the emotional punch that you think it would about basically two best friends falling in love. It is Saturday morning. I have my coffee. I'm gonna play some Animal Crossing. I did a little bit of sorting on the puzzle over there on the dining room table. As far as a reading update though, I did start Dating You, Hating You last night, and I read a chapter. So I am on page 22. And the first chapter is kind of boring, but it's setting up the two characters meeting, and then I'm sure the story is going to take off from there. It is told in dual POV. So the first chapter was Evie, the second chapter is Carter. The goal, of course, was to finish this today, but with it being Saturday and my husband being home, I don't know how much I'm actually going to get accomplished. I'm here with a reading update. I can tell that I'm not really into this as much. It's still in the beginning phases of Dating You, Hating You, but I can tell I'm just like not really into it. I've only read this much today. I'm on page 64. Actually, I'm on page 65. But yeah, I've just been like wasting my time doing other things. It's only 6 o'clock, so I have plenty of time to finish it. Been listening to the audiobook right here on Scribd. I am on chapter 10, so I have made progress. I don't know if you can see that. All right, I'm gonna find out where I am. Chapter 16. So I have definitely made some progress. I'm about 50%, maybe a little bit more than 50% through Dating You, Hating You. And I thought I should probably tell you what this is. So at the very beginning of the novel, Evie, the main character, well, one of the main characters, it's dual POV between Evie and Carter. Evie goes to a early Halloween party, and it's like a costume party. When she gets there, there's a lot of other couples, but she didn't know it was a couple thing. But then she finds out there's this other guy, Carter, there, and they both dressed up as like Hogwarts characters. I think she dressed up as Hermione, and I forget if he dressed up as Harry or what. But anyway, they kind of hit it off at this party. They end up like getting together, kind of like they have sex, and then they find out that they do the same job, but they work at like competing firms. And then one day they try to go into work and they can't, and are like, he can't at his job, and then they get called over to her job, and basically their two companies are merging. And then her old boss calls her in and says, hey, you guys are kind of up for the same job. You're gonna work on these clients, you're gonna work on these clients, and like we'll figure out like what works best for the new company. And so obviously it's like her position, and he's being, you know, he's coming in from the other company, so she thinks like, I've been doing this longer, this is my hometown, because like he's from the East Coast and stuff like that, and she just really thinks that the position is hers. And yeah, it's like a hate to love between them two while they're fighting for the same job position. And I really like the pranks that they're pulling on each other. I think they're like funny but not like harmful. I'm still reading Dating You, Hating You. I made it pretty far last night actually. I'm on page 241, chapter 20. So I have just that much more to go, and I'm really hoping to finish it up today because I just don't want to drag it into next week. I'm trying to start fresh. Yeah, so I'm really excited because this coming week I am going to be doing a podcast with a guest for the first time. So it's going to be me and Jacqueline, and we're going to be chatting with Bree Hill, and I'm just so excited about it. I love Bree. I value her like input with romance, and our podcast is going to be all about romance, and I think it's going to be perfect for February because I know a lot of people are going to be like leaning towards romance, and the podcast actually comes out on February 1st. So I think you'll be able to listen to the podcast, get a ton of romance recommendations, and then have like all month to read them. I have some news. I finished all 3 books. The only one that I haven't wrapped up for you guys yet is Dating You, Hating You. And I wasn't impressed, but I think I liked it more than these. but that's not really saying much. To get my full thoughts on all of these books and where they rank amongst all of the other Christina Lauren books that I have read, I highly recommend you check out my Christina Lauren reading guide that I'm hoping to film now that I have read these. But I am happy that I read these three. These were the three backlist Christina Lauren titles that I had looming over my head. I'm definitely glad that I started reading Christina Lauren when I did, and I'm going to be moving forward with a little bit of trepidation because it's been hit or miss. Let's just say through all the titles, they've been hit or miss. Half I have enjoyed, half I have not, and it's just kind of like up in the air. But what I will say about them is they do tackle different romance tropes that, like, maybe I may not like a trope, but you might like a trope. And so depending on what you like in your romance, I think they have something for everybody. They have hate to love, they have friends to lovers, they have second chance romance, you know, they have holiday romances. They have quirky characters, they have, you know, non-quirky characters. It's a great mix of all, fake dating, and yeah, so I am going to go ahead and close out this vlog. I am happy that I read all three of these. That was my goal. It took me about 4 days, I think. Anyway, that wraps up this vlog. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the Christina Lauren reading guide, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.